Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I just had to come down here and show you all the lake. Open water. If you're up north and you're still waiting for it, it's coming. So, welcome back for part 3 of our big story of the Bible. We started at the beginning with God. God was there in the beginning before anything. And then we told the story of how He created the world and everything that we know. He created people, Adam and Eve, the first man and woman, for for a relationship with them. He came and he walked with them. He talked with them. He was their friend, and that's what he loved to do was spend time with them. But in part 2, we told the story of when the devil came as a serpent. The devil just wants to destroy everything that's good about what God has made, and he came and he deceived Eve and tricked her, and she chose to disobey what God had told them, and that brought death into the world. Things started to die. The plants and animals, Adam and Eve, started to die. Um, it brought separation from God. Since God is perfect and holy, sin brought a separation from Him. So they were put out of the garden, and ever since then, there's been two kingdoms at work in the world: the kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light. God's kingdom versus the kingdom of the devil. The devil is about destroying anything that God has made. But God is at work as well, and He has a plan for what He's wanting to accomplish in this world that He made and His purposes for it. So today's part 3. Let's see what part of the story we have for today.
After Adam and Eve left the Garden of Eden, they had children, and their children had children. As the years passed, there began to be more and more people on the earth. The people began to disobey God, becoming more evil. The wickedness got so bad that eventually God said,
I am sorry I ever made them. I will wipe this human race I have created from the face of the earth. Yes, I will destroy every living thing.
But Noah found favor with the Lord. Noah was a righteous man, the only blameless person living on the earth at the time. He walked in close fellowship with God. Noah was the father of 3 sons: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So God said to Noah,
I have decided to destroy all living creatures, for they have filled the earth with violence. Yes, I will wipe them all out along with the earth. Build a large boat from cypress wood and waterproof it with tar inside and out. Then construct decks and stalls throughout its interior. Make the boat 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. Leave an 18-inch opening in the top of the boat. Put the door on the side and build 3 decks inside the boat: lower, middle, and upper. Look, I'm about to cover the earth with a flood that will destroy every living thing that breathes. Everything on the earth will die, but I will confirm my promise with you. So enter the boat, you, your wife, your sons, and their wives. Bring a pair of every kind of animal, a male and a female, into the boat with you to keep them alive during a flood. And be sure to take on board enough food for your family and for all the animals.
So Noah did everything exactly as God commanded him. And when everything was ready, the Lord God said to Noah,
Go into the boat with all your family, for among all the people of the earth I can see that you alone are righteous. 7 days from now I will make the rains pour down on the earth, and it will rain for 40 days and 40 nights, until I have wiped from the earth all the living things I have created.
So Noah did everything as the Lord commanded. He and his family went on board the boat to escape. Everyone else was left outside the boat because they didn't know God or believe what He said. Then the Lord closed the door behind Noah and his family. After 7 days, the waters of the flood came and covered the earth. All the underground waters erupted from the earth, and the rain fell in mighty torrents from the sky. The rain continued to fall for 40 days and 40 nights. For 40 days, the floodwaters grew deeper, covering the ground and lifting the boat high above the earth. As the waters rose higher and higher above the ground, the boat floated safely on the surface. Finally, the water covered even the highest mountains on the earth, rising more than 22 feet above the highest peaks. God wiped out every living thing on the earth: people, livestock, small animals that scurry along the ground, and the birds of the sky. All were destroyed. The only people who survived were Noah and those with him in the boat. After 150 days, exactly 5 months from the time the flood began, the boat came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. After another 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the boat and released a raven. The bird flew back and forth until the floodwaters on the earth had dried up. He also released a dove to see if the water had receded and it could find dry ground. But the dove could find no place to land because the water still covered the ground. So it returned to the boat. After waiting another 7 days, Noah released the dove again. This time, the dove returned to him in the evening with a fresh olive leaf in its beak. Then Noah knew that the floodwaters were almost gone. He waited another 7 days and then released the dove again. This time, it did not come back. Then God said to Noah,
Leave the boat, all of you, your wife, your sons, and their wives. Release all the animals, the birds, the livestock, and the small animals that scurry along the ground, so they can be fruitful and multiply throughout the earth.
So Noah, his wife, and his sons and their wives left the boat, and all the large and small animals and birds came out of the boat, pair by pair. Noah was thankful to be alive. As soon as he came out of the ark, he built an altar and made his offering to God. God accepted the offering and was pleased with Noah and his family. God promised that he would never again send another flood to destroy every living creature. God said,
As long as the earth remains, there will be summer, winter, springtime, and autumn, and day and night. To remind you of this promise, I will put a rainbow in the sky.